All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm here to share a brand new feature in Camtasia 22.1.0. And that feature is the blur region effect. And we plan on using the blur region effect, which you can find over here in the visual effects bin, to replace, eventually, we'll get rid of all of the old blur annotations. So it's a super flexible and awesome visual effect. You just go ahead and grab it. The first case we're going to look at is I'm going to do the traditional job of the blur annotations, which is to obfuscate some PII, right? So let's go ahead and drag that on. You can see I get a rectangle right here, and I can resize this rectangle just by grabbing a hold. I'm going to choose my name here to cover that up. Just don't want the peoples on the web to get a hold of that name. So we'll go up here, and as soon as I'm happy with the positioning and placement of this guy, then we'll take a look at what the features are over here. So there's a blur amount, so I can blur this up like this. I can change the opacity of this if I wanted to. And there's a color capability, which will give it a little bit of a hue and tint. We'll take a look at what that can do for you. You can round the corners if that's your thing. You want to stylize your obfuscation a little bit. I'm just going to change this back to white. And then there's a feather. And the feather will just make the edges soften up and disappear a little bit, right? So that's the basics of sort of a traditional obfuscation. The nice thing about this is, hey, no matter what I do, there's not another annotation that I have to group or worry about sync with. This thing is connected to the media, and it moves with the media. So I move that media around. I scale that media up. I don't have to worry about this getting out of sync with my media. All the things that you would worry about, rotation, etc. It's all just locked in just like that. So that's the obfuscation use case. We'll go ahead and delete that. Then we're going to take a look at what I like here. Let's get back out on the timeline. There's kind of just really cool stylizations. If you're familiar with that sort of frosted glass motif that's been with us for many, many years, it's a really classic, elegant look. So here, I've just applied a blur region to an image, and I've given it a nice blur amount, and I've chosen the color white here, and I can play around with how frosty I want, how much of that tint do I want to allow through, right? And I've got a corner radius that I've applied to this. Let's click off it so you can see there's that corner radius that's applied, and I haven't done any feathering on this. But so now I've got a really nice sort of area where I can drop text and titling, and so it's going to allow you to dress up those talking points, those bullets, and do really creative, exciting things with it. So we'll look at a couple of different just treatments of this. So again, same concept here. I've just duplicated the background a couple of times. I've got a LUT applied to this bottom one here. On this, I've got a media mat, so it's going to cut through this first image and show me the blurred region on the bottom here for the text, right? So kind of just a really cool, powerful pop treatment there just by using the blur region and a call out and a couple of images, right? So that's a really cool stylization. Again, back to that model we had here. So this is just this guy right here. We've dropped it on here and just popped some text on. I've applied a couple of blends to just make it look kind of cool and some drop shadow or whatever. But notice how that text pops out. You got that cool image in the background, that sort of a frostiness, and we can go around and play with this if we want to try and just dial in the right amount of frostiness. Maybe we want a little bit more of that image to pop through. Maybe we don't. The other thing that you can do, another really popular, the inverse of the sort of classic white frosted glasses, like that one. We'll change the color right here, and now we've got that sort of beautiful black, and dropping some white text on top of this is going to be a really powerful treatment for you, right? And, hey, frosted glass in any color, any shade your heart desires. So if you want it to be more of a red tone, or you want to play around with some pinks, and it just depends on the imagery behind this and the kind of mood and tone that you're going for. Anyways, Blur Region, it's super freaking awesome. I can't wait for you to get your hands on it. It came out on Mac today, August 9th, 2022, as part of the 22.1.0 release, and it'll be coming to Windows soon, so be on the lookout. Hope you folks are as excited as I am to take advantage of this sucker.